loves, welcome to another review video, and I know you can tell by the title, we will be talking about the infamous Curology facial system, you guys. I don't know if I am the only one, I'm sure I'm not, that has been advertised to try Curology over and over and over again with these videos of YouTubers and YouTube personalities talking about how great the system is and how clear their face is. So finally I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and try it. It was only 1 month for $5.97, so we just paying for shipping. So since I went on ahead and bit the bullet, I want to give you guys an honest and true review about how Curology worked for me and my thoughts on the system. I will also make sure to, as always, put timestamps below about each subject so you guys can go to wherever you need to in the video to get the information that you were looking for. This is how I'll break this particular video down. We're going to talk about what Curology is, the process in ordering Curology, my initial thoughts when first trying the product, my pros and cons, and then finally my overall thoughts. So let's begin. Basically, Curology is just a facial system that is specifically designed and formulated for you and your skincare needs. That is what changes the game for the consumer and this particular company, and not just a general sense of, okay, this is your problem, this product cures that problem all the way through. And now I know they have come up with a couple of more systems that actually are more personalized, but I can say that Curology was one of the first ones that I saw that came out with this particular standpoint as far as being advertised on YouTube. So now that we know what Curology is, let's talk about why I wanted to try it. Other than the fact that about every video that I popped on, it was showing me a commercial or an advertisement regarding the Curology system and how great it worked for others. What really pulled me in to decide to try the Curology system is the fact that as far as over the last year, I've had a few issues with my skincare that I haven't really experienced in a couple of years, and it was just discoloration within my skin. And then right before Jake the Red Dragon happens, I would start getting these pimples on my face. So I was already looking for some things to help alleviate the fact that this was happening on my face, and I said, what a perfect time to try it, to see if it can help stop some of this discoloration and get rid of some of those pimples. As far as my own skincare history, I've always been really big into taking care of my skin since high school, so I do have a pretty in-depth system that takes care of my skin. I usually use about 4 or 5 products in the morning and about 3 or 4 at night to keep up the health of my skin, as well as make sure that I'm taking in a lot of water and that I'm eating fruits and vegetables. So that's just a little history on my skin. My skin isn't as troubled as some of the other people that have talked about the benefits that they've had from Curology. So keep that in mind when I'm giving you my thoughts and opinions about the system and how it worked for me. Let's go ahead and get into how the system works and how you would go about ordering it. What happens is you would go to the Curology website, and what they do is they ask you about, I would say maybe 10-15 questions. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to answer the questions, just kind of getting detailed information about your eating habits, your skin's habits, any kind of medications that you're taking, the issues that you would like to resolve within your skin, so that they can make sure they formulate it to specifically help you with those specific needs. Once that's finished, you can also submit in 3 pictures of your skin currently, so that the lab can also have a visual of the skin that they're looking at and seeing what it may need in order to get those better results, which I thought was kind of interesting that they requested the pictures so that they can get an up-close personal view of, you know, how your skin is reacting and acting, instead of just getting a verbal from you, because sometimes you can't always articulate the issues you're having with your skin. You just have to have somebody see it. So I did appreciate that. Once you've submitted your questions and you submitted your pictures, they send it off to the lab. They keep you in the loop throughout the whole process. And if they have any questions, they do reach out to you through messaging or text message, and then you just kind of answer their questions. I would say the process took about maybe 5 to 10 days max for me to get the whole system in my hand. And like I said earlier in the video, it was just very affordable to at least try out the system, because all you're paying for the first month is $5.97, which is the shipping and handling on those items. Now, if you do decide that you're like, whoa, you know, this is really working for me, I would like to continue to have this in my facial cleaning system, then the cost is for 2 months $64.85, and if you decide to do 1 month, it is $32.42. Now let's get into my initial thoughts when receiving the Curology system and trying it for the first few days after receiving it. First off, I really enjoyed the packaging of the Curology system. Like, it was just very aesthetically pleasing, just very simplistic yet beautiful. The amounts, the sizing, I thought was kind of a little bit small, but I was like, you know what? I think this will work for me. So the sizing of the product that you do receive, I think is really a good amount for just a month of trying the system. Now, once I tried the morning routine, which only includes you using the cleanser and the moisturizer, when I used the cleanser, it was very different for me because it didn't really give me a lather, and I didn't know if I had put on enough product to clean my face. But after I washed it off my face, I did feel like my face was clean but not stripped of its nutrients. Then after I cleaned it, I went on ahead and put the moisturizer in, and I have to be honest with you guys, when I used the moisturizer, I was like, okay, is this just regular moisturizer? Like, is this something I could just get off the shelf? Like, I don't see what the hype is about. So I used the moisturizer, and it absorbed into my face fairly quickly, and my face felt a little bit dry. It felt dry to me from what I was used to, so I did end up going on ahead and using the Jergens healing lotion and just kind of put a little bit on my face just to give it a little bit more moisture, a little bit more shine. And then later on that evening, I did the cleanser, I did the moisturizer. Well, I did the cleanser, and then I did the medicated formula, and then I did the moisturizer. And basically the same experience from earlier that morning, except with the added benefit of the formulated product at night. And the first night, I did not experience any side effects. My face wasn't irritated or bothered by the product. It was definitely a different experience to go from using about 4 to 5 products in the morning to only using 2. And then at night well, at night I don't use that many. I use about 3. So that was normal. But the morning routine, I was kind of like, do I need something else? That's it? You think these 2 are gonna just do it for the day? Just these 2? And I did put a sunblock on as well with the system, just to, you know, keep my face protected from the sun. Okay. Initially, it was for the first few days, it was great. It wasn't irritating my skin. I didn't feel awkward about it. But I would say around day 4 or 5, I didn't do the formulated product. I did not use it every night. I used it maybe twice that week. But towards the end of the week, my face definitely was letting me know that it realized that I was using something different. And so I kind of took a break for about 1 to 2 days, maybe even 3, before using the product again, because my face was so shocked about such a new system. And I have to tell you, normally my face does not, I don't have any huge allergies. Normally my face can take any kind of product. Of course, I don't just put any kind of product on my face, but normally I do not have an adverse reaction to putting things on my face. I did reach out to my consultant about this, and they just told me, hey, just make sure that your face is dry before putting on the next product, and, you know, take those breaks. Maybe use it once a week instead of using it twice a week, so that your face can adjust to this new formula. So that was basically my initial thoughts. Now that I have been on the system for 2 months, I was going to wait in about 3 months and give you guys this review, but I said, you know what, I think it's time to go ahead and give the people what they want or maybe what they want, maybe they know they need it, and let them know how the system has fared with me. So let's go ahead and start, of course, on a high note about the pros of the Curology system. I wrote these things down just so that you know I'm on track. So the first thing that I can say is a pro when using the Curology system is that it's just such a simple system. Like I said, I was using 4 or 5 products in the morning and about the same amount at night, well, 3 at night. But to go from 4 or 5 products in the morning to just 2 to 3, it was it was so strange to me. Oh, we're done? That's it? Okay, so it definitely was a time saver as far as, you know, getting ready in the morning and then getting to bed at night. My second pro is that it had no fragrances. So there was nothing that was going to play in on the skin. There was no fragrances on any of the products. And I know a lot of dermatologists and people that specialize in skincare advise that your skin products don't have any fragrances in them because that can irritate your skin. The third pro as far as using Curology is that it was an easy application. Quick little wash up on the face, let it dry, moisturizer, you're done. Easy application. Number 4 is that I was telling you guys earlier that I was suffering with a discoloration in my face and also the Drink the Red Dragon before pimples. And once I started using the system, I no longer had the issues with the pimples and I could slowly see the discoloration in my face start to even out. So that was great. The things that I needed it to do for me, it was definitely doing those things for me. I also have to make a note as well is that during this process, I have also been undergoing laser hair removal. So that could be another thing that's playing a part in the, at least with the discoloration, but I just want to put that out there because it's not just the system, it's also that treatment that could be also helping with the evening out of my skin. Now let's get into the cons. The first con with using the Curology system had to be for me, and this is probably the biggest con, is that it gave me dry patches on my skin. And I have never experienced dry patches on my skin before. Like I have never in my life had a point, like my skin is either usually like oily, basically it's oily, over moisturized. And I started getting dry patches in my T-zone. So I got it kind of like in my forehead and then even like around here and also on the side of my mouth, and then I started getting dry patches on the top of my eyes. That was not okay for me because can you imagine putting makeup on those dry patches? I'm sure there are some of you that actually go through extremely dry skin and know how difficult it is to keep that skin moisturized. So that was definitely a huge con for me. The second con for me, and this was a big one, is that the system does not play well with others. Okay, it is the kid on the playground kicking everybody off of the jungle gym, the swing, the slide. It does not play well with others. And I mean, not with my sunscreen, not with my makeup remover, you know, any little extra that I tried to use on my face because I needed to use it just caused the system to kind of like caused my skin to just go crazy. So I got to the point where I couldn't wear makeup because I didn't want to put the makeup remover on and then cause my face to have those huge dry patches or feel really just, hey. And then even with the sunscreen, I kind of got to the point where I stopped using my sunscreen because my face just looked so dry and washed out. That is another huge con for me because there's so many things that I like to do to my face that I do need certain products that is not offered through Curology, and I need them to play well together. The third con regarding Curology is the amount of product that you're receiving and the frequency of when you're being billed. You get a good amount of product. Like the system that I received for 1 month could have lasted me about a month and a half to 2 months as far as the formulated. But regarding the cleanser and the moisturizer, Baby, I ran out of that so quick. So it was a con for me that they don't give you the option to say, oh, can I just get the cleanser and the moisturizer because that's all I need right now. I still have enough of the formula to last me a little bit longer. And then the product that is most expensive is the item that is formulated. So that was a con for me, that they haven't come up with a better way to match the formula to the cleanser and the moisturizer. And my very last con would have to be consultation once the product did not work for me. I did reach out during the process and let them know about my dry patches, and the same advice they kind of gave me at the beginning of using the system is the same advice they gave me when I told them about the dry patches. Now maybe if I decided to stay on a little bit longer, they would give me some more information or change the formula for me. Come on now, I don't want to go 2 months with dry patches on my face. That's just not a go for me. Now I did want to make sure that I gave you guys a breakdown of the formula that they sent me, and basically in my formulation they did 0.009% of tretinoin, tranexamic acid about 5%, niacinamide 4%, and that was it. That's all that was in my formula. I have never heard of, I think I've heard of tretinoin. The other two I have never heard of. I should have already did this, but I probably will go into depth and research these items, because in the end I did decide to cancel my Curology because the cons were outweighing the pros as far as the system was concerned in my case. But overall, I do think it's a case-by-case basis of trying the system and seeing if it works for you. I don't think it's something that someone who has normal to moderate skin needs to go and embark on and try this system. But if you are maybe suffering with some more severe acne, then go ahead and try it and see if it's a good fit for you. But definitely consult with a dermatologist or a skincare professional before just jumping into this. Like I said, normally my skin can handle anything, so I didn't feel the need to consult anyone. I just tried it for myself and wanted to get you guys this information. Well, Lab Loves, hopefully this was beneficial. Hopefully you learned something. I know I did, and I want to thank you for coming along and listening to my rant on Curology. And as always, I want to remind you to live lavish, love lavish, and honey, you better have fun. Until next time, Lab Loves.